Do you remember James and Matt? Well, they haven't talked in a while. James comes to ask Matt how his life is going because he has seen him strangely quiet and serious. Matt takes the opportunity to vent because he is very distressed by the health situation of his daughter. She requires urgent medical treatment, but he does not have enough money to pay for it. This situation has him feeling so desperate. That's why Matt tells James that, to raise that money, he plans to sell equipment of the company that is in the warehouse. Matt claims no one needs it more than his daughter. Matt tells him that he can take out the equipment, and that since in that sector there are no cameras, no one will notice. In addition, he mentions that the company is practically not using the equipment, and it is likely that it will no longer be needed. Let's ask ourselves how we would act in Matt's situation. Consider what James invited Matt to ask himself. Would you take the equipment in front of your boss or colleagues? How would you feel if your family found out about this? Do you think that the personal problem you have justifies taking something that is not yours? He tells him that it is likely that after calmly analyzing these questions, he will give up this idea and seek other alternatives. He also reminds him of our duty to properly manage the company's goods and assets, and that it is forbidden to appropriate them, even if they are surpluses. Furthermore, James tells Matt that he understands his anguish and the need to do something for his daughter's health. He proposes to help him find a way to raise the money. Finally, Matt gets the money by appealing to the solidarity of his family. Thus, Matt can pay for his daughter's treatment and at the same time, he acts correctly and honestly.
We may all at some point be in a situation of need, but we must stop before acting impulsively and ask ourselves about the consequences of our behaviors. In addition to taking care of and giving reasonable use to the resources, we must report any form of embezzlement or misuse of assets that we notice. We have the Transparency Hotline as a channel that allows us to anonymously report violations of the Code of Business Conduct.